PV Nova started his musical career when he was only 4. He learned to play piano, drums, guitar, bass guitar, and then started to sing. In 2007, he began uploading video on internet, and in 2008, he created the first experience musicale in which he deconstructs a specific musical genre, like atomic hip-hop, dark heavy thrash, or 70s funk. He uploaded 25 episodes in 8 years with an average of 1.5 million views per video, even winning the SACD YouTube Award for one of them. PV Nova is one half of the Comité des Reprises, the cover committee with the musician Wax. He collaborated with YouTubers like Norman, Cyprien, Squeezie, Natu, Kemar, Golden Moustache, Studio Bagel, Bonjour Tristesse, and so on. PV Nova is also a comedian with the company Les Franglaises, which won a Molière Award for the best musical show in 2015. Last year, he recorded 10 Days, 10 Songs, a concept album recorded in 10 days, only live on social media. And he announced recently he was about to return and to restart again this experience this year. Please welcome PV Nova with us tonight. Thank you very much to be with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hello everyone. Thank you, Xavier, for this introduction, but you just ruined everything that I was going to say because now my life has no secret for them. I'm very happy to be here. I was a student not so long ago, 9 years. Okay, it's okay. So I know what it is to be in your place, and so I'm going to try to make this as neat and nice as possible. I hope everything was fine until now, and I hope it will still remain fine. Excuse me for my English. I'm not used to giving lectures in English. I'm French, you know, I am French. Normally I speak like that. And so pardon my mistakes. I'm going to talk today about creativity, because I was once, I was in a business school, you know. I was about to make a career like many of you in marketing, and then I just realized maybe I should try music. And it was 9 years ago, and I don't regret it at all. So, Xavier just presented me, but he didn't say everything. I'm PV Nova or PV Nova, it's just like you choose. My parents never choose a normal first name for me. My father wanted to call me Victor. My mother wanted to call me Paul, so I'm Paul Victor. Basically, I'm a musician, comedian, and producer. That's quite important for me. I'm what some people call a YouTuber. I don't like this term because I think it's about too vague, and there are so many people that do so many different things on YouTube, and some of them are not artistic at all, and that's not what I try to do. So, so that you can see what I do and listen to a bit of my music, I'm going to show you a quick video that was made 2 years ago. Thank you. So, as you've seen, usually I wear sunglasses, but not today because I'm giving a lecture. So I took my conference glasses that are actually completely fake. You know, there are no glasses. But it's just a reminder that we all play roles, and today I'm the role of somebody who's teaching, and I just enjoy it. So a few numbers so that you know what I do of my daily work. So I work on YouTube. I used to be on Dailymotion before, but now I'm on YouTube. I have 530,000 subscribers, and I got over 55 million views. I started 10 years ago. I looked like that. Yeah, I was a student at the time, and I started to play music, to talk about science, and now I have made more than 100 videos. I have recorded 2 albums. The third one is coming in March this year. And I have another channel, as Xavier said, it's called the Comité des Reprises. So cover is for, reprise is for cover. We had a huge number of musicians to come with us. This is will.i.am from the Black Eyed Peas. Okay, all right. No, come on. And we played with Carly Rae Jepsen, Allo Black, The Doe, Skip the Use, Charlie Winston, Keziah Jones, Sarah Sue, Vianney, Sébastien Tellier, Breakbot, and so on. I have played with many of my fellow comedians on YouTube. One of them is Norman on the left side. I've known him for 10 years because we were a small group that started to be on YouTube on 2008, and he has 10 million subscribers now, which is quite impressive, I must say. I'm also a member of, you talk about this Les Franglaises. That's musical comedy show. I don't know, just come to see us. We are in Bobino right now in Paris, but it's complete. So you have to wait for the tour that will follow. And anyway, I want to talk about my job. My job is actually telling stories and making sure that people get to listen and see these stories. That's why I consider myself as a musician and producer. I make videos for curious people because I am someone curious and I just love to share. So what we're going to try and see in a few minutes is that how you get from this to playing with Sting in the middle. Which, yeah, I was like, wow, when I was shaking. You don't want to know. I was like sweating like never. Okay, all right. I started 10 years ago, as I told you. I was, at the time, an amateur, like musician, normal musician. The reasons why I played music were simple. It's because I loved it, and because it was a family tradition. So I was born in a musical environment. So for me, music was part of everyday life. But my parents, they are musicians, but none of my family is professional. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to play music every day, but it's not going to be my job anyway. I can work in any field that makes me happy. But then I started, I did some internships, and I realized that I didn't really like the jobs I was expecting for myself. So I was, I was in doubt. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. And at that time, YouTube came and just helped me to make my decisions. There was two parameters that came at the same time. I could quite easily record and shoot videos because it was cheap to buy a microphone, and I could use any webcam to shoot my videos. That's why the images look so poor at 10 years ago. And I had access to broadcasting. I could have access to all the world in my room, actually in the back of my garden, my parents' garden. It was a complete revolution, and actually it was the subject of my school dissertation. It was about democratization of creation on internet because of YouTube and the cheap access to technical materials. I started posting videos for a few reasons, because it was new. So, it was very exciting. It was fun. It was a field of experiments. Everything was possible. So I could just okay, I have an idea. It's quite stupid, but let's just do it and post it. And if people like it, they will watch it. And if they don't like it, they will skip. And what's the risk? Come on, just try. But at that time, there were not so many people going on Dailymotion and YouTube to watch it. So anyway, if I did something not good, I won't be ashamed because it would just still be a secret. And it was very, very exciting and challenging because I had to do everything. I still do everything right now for some of my projects. Writing, composing, shooting, editing, everything. And that's cool because that's how you get better, by practicing. So my goal now, 10 years after, is to keep the same motivations that had me starting on YouTube. I have to, now it's my job, I told you, it's part of my job. But I have to keep in mind the reasons why I started it. It's very, very important for whatever you do, not only music. And I told you being pro wasn't part of the plan. It was really too risky. And since I saw the opportunity, I just tried. After my diploma, I told my parents, okay, do you mind if I just stay in the house for a few months and just try to be a musician? And then it quickly started I quickly started to get money from this. So I just went on, and I had my own flat a few years after, and I was like, yeah, you did it. And but I keep in mind the very same reasons of the motivation that had me starting it. And my job is to constantly rethink of my job, to invent and to create. The most important question I keep on asking myself is, what are my strengths? It's a hard word to say. What are my strengths? What can I offer to the world? I mean, people won't come and see my videos if they are bad. There are now, right now, so many videos that you have to be good. And you are never as good as when you're yourself. So I know that I'm not the best guitar player. Normally with my guitar skills, you don't play with things. I know this. It's like not normal to be in this place. But yeah, I know my strengths, and my strengths are I like to share. Actually, I'm very optimistic and passionate and curious. So when I try something, I like to share it with people. And I think that's what people like. I like music. I like acting. I like teaching and writing silly jokes. That's the reason why I created my own funny musical educational program, des expériences musicales. So it's just me. People always ask me, why do you do this? And I'm like, I like teaching people, I like music, and I like making jokes. That's exactly the definition of les expériences musicales. So right now, I told you I have many jobs. I'm going to give you a short list of what I do in my everyday life. I'm a musician, I'm a comedian, I'm a producer because I produce my own content. I'm a writer in music and comedy, I'm a composer, I'm a cameraman, I'm a movie editor, I'm a graphic designer, I'm a community manager. I'm kind of a Swiss Army knife man. I truly know that I'm not the best in any of this, but I'm not bad in all of this. So this is the reason why I invented my job. So how did I invent my job? This picture has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. Okay, this is just a cute dog. I just wanted to keep your attention, so I'm gonna post pictures of cute animals so that you stay focused. Okay. And I paid for this. I'm a very big fan of stock photos, so I have an account and I pay for this. Yeah. And you don't want to know, I paid like 20 euros for this. Anyway. I am an artist and producer. What does that mean? I decided to start this experiment because I knew I had some talent, plus I knew what to do with this talent. I think exploiting a talent is part of the talent itself. I know many musicians that are like crazy guitar players, crazy singers, but their career never really starts to grow because they don't know how to use it. They don't feel the good opportunities. So I think I have this. Like I started 10 years ago. I know I wasn't the best, but I tried. At least I tried. So as an artist and producer, I am the one who creates and the one who sells. I don't think you realize that it's normally two jobs that don't fit together because they don't have the same goal, actually. I am the one that has the idea and find the means to reach my goal and make the audience excited about this. Like, I control every stake. I try to make it profitable as a producer because I want to earn money. But I try not to pervert the art that I'm doing because I don't do only silly videos. I also record music and make like serious albums. And I try to do my best at playing music, and I don't want to pervert the art with a big A. So it's always different to switch. It's always complicated to switch between several hats. You know, I'm wearing sometimes the hat of the artist and sometimes the hat of the producers, and try to make them go in the same way together. Like sometimes what happens in my head is like this: the artist says, "Okay, I want to create something really new," and the producer in my head asks, "Okay, do you think it could interest anyone?" So the artist replies, "If it interests me." It's a good start. Maybe there are some people like me, so I don't try to please the others and to fit the public's taste. I just do things that I like, And lucky enough, some people are of my taste. So sometimes it works. No, not every time, of course. I don't play with Sting every day. Sometimes I'm just crying in my room because I don't know how to make a song. It's a job like the others. You get, you get deception sometimes. Okay, I want to make something that is truly artistic and economically valuable, because I want to keep this job for a long time. If I just let the artist take the lead and not listen to the producer, I will try to change the world. That's a good thing. I will try to explore pure creativity. I will have no limits. Maybe I would give all my music for free because I want everybody to listen to it in case it changes their life. But that's not enough. If I just let the producer take the decisions, I will adapt to people's tastes and do something without any personal flavor. I will search the use. I want to make something useful, and that use is the enemy of art. The enemy of everything, but by definition, art is useless. That's why we call it art and not craftsmanship, you know? You know what I mean? And that's what I like in... that's the reason why I like pop music. I'm proud to be a pop artist, because for me, pop is trying to make something accessible to everyone, something that suits the codes that are widely admitted in the society. I want to give an impression of easiness, but just an impression, because pop music is not always easy. If you listen to the Beatles, it's incredibly well composed, but it's easily accessible for everybody. The same with Michael Jackson. Okay, these are the two bigs. I'm not comparing myself to Michael Jackson and the Beatles. I'm not that stupid, but these are my dream goals. You know, I want to make pop music. That's what I do. So I had to create a business model, because there was no YouTuber was not a job at that time. I was like, okay, so how can I get money? First of all, when you're a musician, you get performance fees. So you get money when you perform. That's normal. So I tried to have gigs. I had royalties and copyright fees on my music. So but it's a small amount of money that I get every year from the SACEM as a writer and composer. And then I had the YouTube money. It was not the case at the beginning, but like I guess 2010 or 11, YouTube started to implement advertisement on its website, and so they give back a little amount of money to the producers. And what helped me a lot to make it a valuable job is that I started to work directly with brands. Basically, when you work with a brand, you have several ways to do it. You just sometimes make some product placement. You have maybe, I don't have any examples there, but I've worked, for example, with Philips, the brand, and I use their headphones in the clips. But it's just, I didn't want to do something like, I'm not an advertising guy. I just didn't want to put the headphones on and say, it sounds great. No, it's not. I don't want to do this. And people don't expect me to do this. They don't subscribe to my channel for seeing somebody just trying to sell them headphones. So I've discussed with Philips, and I told them, you make good headphones. I try to make good music. Why not speak about the making of music and what is sound? You're interested in sound because the sound of your headphones are good, and the musician always tries to make the good sound. So what does that mean? And we started a series of 5 videos that were called l'Odyssée du son, the sound odyssey. So we talked about science and physics and sound. And it was a perfect cross between what they do and what I do. And we all benefited from it, because people that watched my videos were happy with the content. They just learned something new, so then they were happy. And Philips were happy too, because they were involved in a program that gave a very good image to them. That's one of the examples. I also worked with Wiko last year. Wiko, the French smartphone brand, maybe you know. You can find, if you have a Wiko phone, you can find some of my ringtones and notification sounds in it. You will see it's featuring PV Nova. It's written on it. And so I made music for them. That's what I do. I'm a musician. And I also recorded a series of videos to explain how I did this as a composer. If you want, you can see it. I hope it's quite interesting. And I recently worked with Blizzard, the video game society, for the game Overwatch. It's a first-person shooter, and we did a rap battle. It was not on my channel, it was on Squeezy's channel. So I wrote a rap song with the characters of the game. And it was the videos that was the most seen last year, except from pure music and not parodies. It had like 27 million views last year. So I tried to keep it, worth it for me and for my audience at the same time. But it's the best way to get money from me. I would say it's, to be honest, just advertisement on the videos. It's not that much money. I could not live only with this because I don't post many videos. I try to work on them for a long time. And sometimes I work with, I have like partners and sponsorship. For examples, I work with Gibson guitars, which is one of the best brands in the world. I would say the best brand in the world. I work with Yamaha keyboards, Native Instruments hardware. And that is not money that I earn, but it's good quality instruments that I can use. And it's, very useful for me. I think that when I do my videos and music, not everything has to be valuable. I have to decide which project I will sell and which I won't sell. And sometimes I give my money for my music. Sorry, for free. I don't give my money for free. I give my music for free most of the time when it's not in my albums. Like I release sometimes singles, and you can find them for free. I just for Christmas I put 2 new songs for free because I don't need maybe if I sell it, I will get 100, 200, 300 euros. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't want to know. It's not worth it. I just give it, and then when the day I need my audience and my public to support me, I know they will be here because I gave them a lot. So I know that they know that if I ask for money, I really need it because I want to do something very creative and audacious, and I need money for it. Okay, I'm going to switch another cute dog. This one you will like. It's my favorite. Yeah. The best. It's the best. I like 20 euros. Only 20 euros, I would say, for this one. What do I do to inspire creativity? Because creativity is one of my raw materials. Actually, I will not give you the secret answer because I haven't got it. But I think creativity is not something that you can totally control, but you can learn to provoke it. You can learn to inspire your own creativity by practicing, like any sports. You can also learn to improve the ways that you will use to turn your creativity into concrete moves. So try, learn every day. I'm going to give a concrete example. I have some time left. For the 10th anniversary of my YouTube channel, so it was yesterday, I came out with an idea. It was called 10 Days, 10 Songs. 10 years, you got it? 10 years, 10 days, 10 songs. It's something very original that I've never seen before, and I wanted to see it. That's the reason why I made it. It's completely in tune with my previous work, but it's like one step ahead because I'm used to decomposing music, and now, I decompose the music of the others, and I wanted to decompose my own music and show everyone the creative process. So I came up with the idea of recording an album in only 10 days. I mean, really only 10 days, with no preparation before. I know melodies before, no text. One song each day, writing, composing, playing and recording, editing, mixing. Honestly, that is stupid. Don't do this. It's just crazy, but seriously, do this. It's crazy. you know what I mean? I've produced a series of videos. It's like a documentary. For each day, you have a 10-minute video. I'm going to show you one of these just after. So I was not alone. I was alone in the music, and I was working with 4 guys. One was my assistant in production, so he was like my right hand. He helped me with everything. He was live tweeting, live on Facebook every day. So because it was like live at the same times, and when they shoot the video, it was online the day after, which is also crazy. You don't edit a video in 24 hours. and less because we slept a lot. I decided to add, no, there was, oh sorry, I forgot, there was also 10 drawings. So for each single, there was one artwork made. What I added in the composition process is what I want to talk to you about. It's very important. I used what we call creation with constraints. En français, contrainte. It is very, very exciting. Each morning, I picked up in 10 little boxes 10 constraints that I had written before. Actually, I had written 9 of them, and one was written by my community. And it was, I had 10, each box was for a different type of the making of the song. One was for the composition, one was for the theme, one was for the writing, one was for the mixing, etc. So I was sure that I had one in each box. And I used these constraints to work. I knew about this because I was a big fan of Oulipo. It's, en français, it's ouvroir de littérature potentielle. I really don't know how to translate it because it's a silly expression. There were a few writers in the 60s and 70s that used it a lot. Many of you that are French know Les exercices de style de Raymond Queneau. It's a good example, and some of you, I guess everybody knows it, the book called La disparition, in English, A Void. There was a translation in English, which is crazy when you think about this. It's by Georges Perec. He wrote an entire novel without using the letter E. It's really, E is everywhere in French. So I like these guys. I wanted to try the same in music, so I was inspired by them. It was really an incredible adventure. I'm going to show you one episode. It's 10 minutes, so I'm going to just try to be as quick as possible. One thing I want to tell you before is about creativity also, and the way that I use my producer's skill to make the artist as comfortable as possible. The album was already economically valuable before it was written and recorded, because I had sold the album before to my community. I did a crowdfunding. It was actually not, I was not asking people for charity, I was just giving them the opportunity to buy a CD, and it was the only way to get a CD was to buy it before it was done. So you didn't know what you were buying, but anyway, just go ahead. The people that follow me, they know me, they, like, at least if it's not good, I don't care, it would be funny. So I raised money, I raised 12, sorry, I'm like, 12,000 euros in 3 hours, which is like kind of crazy when I think about it. So, before I went to the studio, I knew that I could not fail. The only way to fail would be not to give my best. But I didn't risk any money, so the producer left the artist with like complete carte blanche, as we say. I'm going to show you the very last episode of the album. So this one it's a bit different because I didn't do the drawing because there was only one paper in the boxes. So actually you will see me with the boxes, but the days before there was more than one paper. I'm not cheating, just wanted to let you know. This is the artwork that was made by Jérôme in one day. So I told you it's a transdisciplinary project, many disciplines like drawing. In the next album that comes in March, there will be dancing because I'm going to work with a dancer to make a choreography each day. And it's video. The documentary you saw was shot and edited in one day. It's really impressive. Before I leave, I'm going to give you some tips and advices. Yeah, I like this one too. Okay, talking about creativity. Where are my tips? Oh no, come on. Ah, they're here, I guess. Yes. I told you that the inspiration, you cannot control it, the creativity, you cannot control it, so take it where it is. When it comes to your mind, just don't think, okay, I'm gonna remember this later on. No. Just write it down immediately. Or if it's a song for me, just use a voice recorder and sing it. I would advise you to have like a neat notebooks, cool notebooks that you like, rather than the smartphone to write down ideas, because I think it's always appreciable when you just take a good moment when you write, when you feel proud of seeing what you wrote with like colors and it's cool. I think it's always better when it's a pleasure to work and a pleasure to read your work. Another tip would be, I know it sounds silly and basic, but it's true. Be yourself and be honest, and please don't pretend to be someone you're not in order to try and seduce everyone. Maybe it will work for a short time, but if you try something long-term, just be yourself with your defaults and qualities. That's what I do on a daily basis. I just watch the jokes I made. They are stupid, but I love them. Jean-Jacques Gollum, for those who speak French. Come on. Whatever you do, if you create something, create whatever you miss as a consumer. I told you that's what I do with my songs. If I like my song, maybe someone like me will love my songs too. So just if there's something that you really miss, you can't find it, do it. That's the best idea you can get. Another tip, create as much as you can. I told you it's like a sport. The more you practice, the better you get. Be patient. That's another good advice. Like, give your ideas time to grow. I had some ideas that I had for 3-4 years before I realized it, and it was worth it. It was worth to wait, because then when it's the good moment, you will know it. So just don't forget them. Put them aside and go back to them when it's the right time. And don't give up. Maybe you can wait 10 years with a good idea. Don't give it up. Maybe 10 more years and it will be the idea at the good moment. And don't neglect details. Details make perfection. The guy who said it is called Leonardo da Vinci. I don't know if you know him, but he was a good guy. Details matter. It truly matters. Last advice, last but not least, be curious. Be aware of people's taste. Be aware of what the other people do. Not in order to copy them, but just, it's not to be conformist, but when you create whatever you create, song, product, whatever, it's always here and now. So you have to be aware of what's happening before. So these are my tips. We don't have many time for the questions. It's like, yeah, sure, we do have time. Okay, so maybe if you have a few questions, I would try to...
But first of all, we would like to thank you. First of all, thank you.
Beaucoup.
Thank you for this presentation.
Thank you for your attention.
Amazing and first-hand creativity experience. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. If you don't mind, I'm going to just get back to the dog. Yeah, this one.
Yeah, sure. So yes, we can take a few minutes for questions. We have the first question just in front of you. Other question somewhere? Yes.
Yes, it's working.
Thank you very much for the conference, and most of all for your YouTube channel, which is a goldmine for musicians.
Thanks.
I have one question and one invitation. The question is basically you created a business model regarding music. Nowadays with the internet, hacking, it's more and more difficult for musicians to earn money. So are you optimistic about music industry? How do you see the music industry in the future? Yes, and invitation.
Yeah.
You're welcome in the ESSEC Music Association studio jam
Thanks.
after the conference to play and talk about music.
Okay, thanks for an invitation. When I wanted to work in the music industry when I was a student, and it was in 2007. It was the worst time for music industry. Everyone said music is going to die. Actually, music never died. Music was never as alive as it is right now. Everybody listens to music all the time with Spotify, YouTube, and etc. So I think it's just a transfer of money. It's just the music producer had the money before, now it's the music streamers, like YouTube, Spotify. You don't know how much money Spotify makes. It's like incredible. That's the reason why I work with them sometimes. It's just, I think, for me, it was not very important. Just, it's not like sometimes people tell you don't go on this road, it's dangerous. But if it's the road you want to go on, because if it's if it leads to the point you want to go, just, I thought really true, to be honest, I'm going to try this. I know it's not the right moment. I know it's hard, but just be smart. You don't need to sell hundreds of thousands of albums to earn a living. To record this album, I just sold 300 CDs, 300 LPs, and 2,000 digital CD albums. That's it. And just for this, I had like 27,000 euros. So it's not, you know, a question of quantity. And I could do this by myself. That's what I chose. I chose auto-production to be independent, and you don't need to make, hundreds of thousands of CDs to be economically valuable. So it's true that it's a difficult time for music, but it's changing right now. But I don't care. And I think it's the same in every field you want to get to. And for the invitation, I don't know if I have time, but if I have time, with pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Maybe another question?
Yeah, so question just in front of you.
I'm glad you didn't ask me the school I was in. Yeah.
Thank you very much for this honest and heartfelt intervention. I really liked the Jean-Jacques Gollum joke, by the way.
Thank you.
So
you're a French
I was
speaker.
wondering. I was wondering at the time you started in 2008. What led you to choose YouTube as a platform and not Dailymotion or MySpace? Or
Actually, I chose Dailymotion.
Dailymotion, okay. So you transferred to YouTube?
Yeah.
At the time, did you identify it as a viable platform for your media?
As a what platform, sorry?
Like a viable long-term platform?
Didn't really think about this at the time, but I went on Dailymotion because I just came across this website by chance. I was like on my computer. You know, at that time, people used to share videos with emails and floppy disks and USB keys. So it was really new. Dailymotion was founded in 2005, and I started in 2007. And I just came across the videos, like random guys in their room playing music, and I thought, oh my God, this is crazy. You can just get to know amateur musicians all around the world. So I didn't think about this. I just had to do it because I had songs and I didn't know what they were worth. So I just, okay, I'm going to record my songs and just post them online and see if people like it. That's it. That's the point. And then I started to go bigger on Dailymotion because at that time they had, they considered themselves as a media. So they had a homepage where they could promote videos they liked. So one of the guy who worked for Dailymotion, he just saw my videos and put them, it's called Video Star. And at that time, it was huge numbers. For a video, a huge number at the time was 50,000 views. I remember Norman, so the French here, they know, I guess they know Norman. Norman fait des vidéos. When I met him in 2008, he asked me this question that makes me laugh 10 years after. He asked me, how can you do 20,000 views? Now he makes 20 millions in a video. So yeah, it was just the way that Dailymotion was the place where you can find these creators. And then afterwards, YouTube started to grow, and it was much more attractive because it was used in the world. That was the difference. And I was singing in English. So it was why just stay on the French market? Just go on YouTube. And the views on YouTube, they went higher and higher. And so one day I stopped Dailymotion, but it reminds me of my artist teenage, you know. So I just always, I'm glad that they were here at that time. They helped me a lot.
Thank you very much. Last question?
Last question.
Yeah, back.
Yeah, the answer was ESCP and HEC. Sorry.
Thank you for the presentation.
Thank you. I don't see you. Oh, okay, you're just behind the lights.
Yeah. So I'm just wondering, how did you market yourself, especially in the beginning? Did you just upload your content on media, on YouTube and Dailymotion? Or did you do something else in addition to uploading?
I did some things in the videos to market myself, for example, the sunglasses. At the beginning, I thought, okay, it's very important to have an identity as an artist. So in my videos, I started to work to, for example, the stock images I use them in my video, and it's part of my identity right now. Because you always try to make sure that when somebody comes across your video, by chance, like you walk on the street and somebody's watching it on your smartphone, he knows it's you because, you know, it's branded. The producer in me brands the artist. And at that time, like for what is not in the videos, it was quite common to comment, under the videos on Dailymotion, and the community was not that big. So you could actually talk, and there was no troll at that time. Like when you read the comment sections on YouTube right now, it's just people making jokes, trying to say the silliest or being mean. It's not a place to debate. But at that time, it was a place for debate. So usually when you saw somebody writing, come and see my videos, it was actually related to the videos that was on top. So I just, you know, that's what I did. I just went on the videos of the artists that I liked at the time, amateur artists, and wrote, okay, I do the same as you do, just come and see and tell me if it's good. And there were at the time what we called groups on Dailymotion, and it was like a playlist that you subscribed to, and the creators could upload their videos on the playlist. It was moderated, so like you just asked for the permission to be on the group, and the moderator said, okay, just come to my group. So I was like in many groups, many music groups, and that's how I got to have more and more views. And I think it's a virtuous circle. I don't care about the speed in which my community grows. I care about the constantness. It has to be like steady. And that's what I did. I don't have many subscribers. There are dozens of people in France that have millions of subscribers. I have 500,000. But it's enough for me to do what I like. So I try to keep it. You know, it's my precious. No, I'm not going to do Gollum again, but that's what I do.
Thank you very much. Thank you for this amazing conference. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I must say it's a pleasure to be here, because last time I was here, it was at La Nuit de l'ESSEC, and it was really good, but I don't remember anything. So now I see what it looks like. Yeah, it's cool.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bye-bye.